If you're seeing a Tinkercad grouping error, don't worry, because in this video I'll walk you through the most common fixes step by step so you can get back to designing without the frustration. This issue can happen for a few different reasons, including browser problems, overly complex shapes, hidden tiny objects, or graphic settings interfering with the editor. By the end of this tutorial, you'll know exactly how to troubleshoot it and what to change first so you waste less time guessing. And if this video helps you out, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more quick Tinkercad tips and tutorials. Let's start with the simplest and often most effective fix, clearing your browser cache and cookies. Since Tinkercad runs in your browser, old temporary files can sometimes interfere with how the editor loads and calculates shape operations. Open your browser settings, go to Privacy or Browsing Data, and clear the cached images and files, along with cookies for the last 24 hours. You do not always need to delete everything, but clearing the recent data is usually enough to remove anything that may be causing the error. After that, fully close your browser, reopen it, and sign back into Tinkercad. This fresh restart can reset the connection and fix problems caused by a full or corrupted browser cache. If the grouping error is still happening, the next thing to check is whether your design is too complex. Tinkercad can struggle when it has to merge very detailed geometry all at once, especially if you're grouping a lot of shapes in one go. A good workaround is to ungroup the objects and then group them in smaller sections. For example, group two shapes first, then add a third, and build it up gradually instead of trying to combine everything at once. This is especially important if you imported an STL file, because high polygon counts can overload the Boolean engine. As a general rule, try to keep imported models under 300,000 triangles. If the mesh is too dense, Tinkercad may time out while trying to calculate the intersection between shapes, and that's when the grouping process can fail. Now, let's check for illegal shapes or hidden problem objects. Sometimes a grouping error is not caused by the main model at all, but by a tiny sliver, a microscopic hole, or a small piece that you didn't even realize was still in the workspace. Zoom in closely and inspect the entire design for anything unusual. Look for phantom objects, tiny hole shapes, or accidental leftovers from previous edits. Also, make sure your objects are not scaled to an extreme size. If something is stretched to an unrealistic dimension, like several kilometers wide in Tinkercad terms, it can break the coordinate system and cause unexpected errors. Another common issue is when a hole is perfectly aligned with the edge of a solid. That creates coincident faces, meaning the software has a hard time deciding whether material should remain or be removed. When that happens, grouping can fail because the Boolean engine cannot cleanly solve the overlap. If none of that works, the next fix is to toggle hardware acceleration. This is a browser setting that helps Tinkercad use your graphics card properly. Open your browser settings, search for System, and make sure Use Hardware Acceleration when available is turned on. If it's already on and you're still having trouble, try an incognito or private window. That can help you test whether browser extensions are interfering with the editor or blocking the rendering process. Since grouping in Tinkercad is GPU intensive, any issue with graphics acceleration can cause the progress bar to hang or return an error instead of completing the operation. So if you remember nothing else, start with the quick fixes first. Clear recent cache and cookies, restart the browser, simplify the geometry, check for hidden or illegal shapes, and make sure hardware acceleration is enabled. In most cases, one of those steps will solve the problem and save you a lot of time. If you want more Tinkercad troubleshooting videos like this, subscribe now so you do not miss the next one. And if this guide helped, please give it a like. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.